What happens when your own garage becomes your biggest threat to a world championship? That's the exact storm McLaren is facing right now. Oscar Piastri may be leading the standings, but Lando Norris is snapping at his heels. And just behind them, Max Verstappen is charging back with Red Bull's trademark relentlessness. Former world champion Jacques Villeneuve has dropped a bombshell. If McLaren want to stop Verstappen's comeback, they must choose, and that means favoring Piastri over Norris. But how do you tell your star British driver, the face of your long-term project, that he's suddenly playing second fiddle? This isn't just about lap times anymore. It's about politics, pride, and survival. Villeneuve learns that if McLaren hesitate, Verstappen will eat them alive. He's already won back-to-back races, and momentum is shifting. So, is McLaren ready to risk a civil war inside Woking to block Red Bull? Or will hesitation hand Verstappen the door back into the title fight? Before we dive deeper, make sure you hit subscribe and drop a like, because this is shaping up to be one of the most dramatic intra-team battles since Rosberg versus Hamilton. Just weeks ago, Oscar Piastri looked untouchable, calm, clinical, the so-called silent assassin, leading the championship by 34 points. But then came Baku, and suddenly the cracks appeared. Qualifying crash, false start, anti-stall, and then the final insult, a wall at turn 5. From pole favorite to back marker in a single weekend. Sky F1 and Planet F1 both pointed out the same thing. Jacques Villeneuve had already predicted it. He warned that once Piastri built a cushion, the mindset would shift. Confidence can turn into carelessness. And Villeneuve didn't miss his chance to twist the knife. On Instagram, the 1997 champion wrote, "Piastri put it in the wall. He's been driving erratically this weekend. He's feeling the pressure." Coming from a world champion who knows the cost of mental lapses, that comment hit like a thunderbolt. Now fans are asking, is this still the unflappable prodigy, or is the weight of a first title battle already starting to break him? Comment below. Do you think Villeneuve is right? Is Piastri cracking, or was Baku just a one-off blip? Imagine being Lando Norris right now. After years of carrying McLaren through rebuild, after signing the long contract that made him the face of the team, suddenly he's being told he might have to step aside. Villeneuve didn't sugarcoat it. If Verstappen keeps closing the gap, McLaren's only logical play is to crown Piastri as their number one. That leaves Lando Norris in a brutal position, not just fighting for points, but fighting for his very status inside Woking. The British fans, the McLando faithful, won't take this lightly. They've watched him grow, they've branded him the future world champion, and yet, here we are. Norris could be sacrificed on the altar of strategy just to block Verstappen's march. And don't forget, this is a driver who has already been accused of British bias protection by rival fans. If McLaren suddenly swings behind Piastri, the narrative flips overnight. Norris goes from golden boy to underdog in his own team. If you think McLaren are brave enough to actually tell Norris to move aside, smash that like button, because this could be one of the ugliest decisions in modern F1. If there's one thing Max Verstappen knows better than anyone, it's how to exploit weakness. And right now, McLaren are showing cracks everywhere. While Piastri and Norris battle for supremacy, Max Verstappen has gone back-to-back with 2 dominant wins. The gap that once looked impossible is now shrinking, and as Villeneuve told OLGB, Red Bull are fighters. They thrive when their backs are against the wall. This is classic Verstappen territory. He doesn't need to win the politics inside McLaren. He just needs to let them tear each other apart. Every mistake, every pit wall hesitation, every team order delay gives Max the opening he lives for. And remember, Red Bull has been here before. They've seen off Mercedes, they've bulldozed Ferrari, and now they're circling Woking like sharks smelling blood. The question is simple. Are McLaren drivers fighting each other, or are they already fighting a lost war against Verstappen's resurgence? Drop a comment. Who's really McLaren's biggest enemy right now? Norris, Piastri, or Max himself? When the season began, McLaren made a bold promise. No favorites, no number one. Pure equality. At the time, it sounded noble. 2 young stars, free to race, pushing each other to the limit. But now, that very promise has become a trap. With Piastri leading, Norris chasing, and Verstappen closing, equality means only one thing: lost points. Every time Norris takes a win off Piastri or vice versa, Verstappen's chances grow stronger. This is where Villeneuve's warning cuts deepest. He insists McLaren must abandon fairness if they want to survive. But imagine the fallout. Fans call it civil war at McLaren for a reason. Break the equality pact and you risk losing the garage. Keep it and you risk losing the championship. It's a no-win scenario, the kind of strategic nightmare where one wrong call could define McLaren's legacy for the next decade. If you were Zach Brown, what would you do? Back Piastri now, or let Norris fight until the very end? Tell me in the comments, because this decision could split the fan base forever. Pressure. It's the invisible fuel of Formula One. It can launch you to glory or send you straight into the wall. And right now, both McLaren drivers are drowning in it. For Piastri, the spotlight burns brighter than ever. He's the championship leader, but every tiny error, like Baku, is magnified 100 times. Villeneuve's words echo in the paddock. He's feeling the pressure. That label sticks, and once it sticks, rivals will weaponize it. For Norris, the weight is different, more personal. He's the veteran of McLaren's rebuild, the man expected to carry the papaya dream. And yet, for the first time, he's staring at a teammate who might beat him fair and square. Imagine being told your destiny as world champion could be sacrificed for the rookie sitting across the garage. That's not pressure, that's torment. Meanwhile, Verstappen, he's in his element. Red Bull thrive on chaos, and Max wears pressure like body armor. The calmer he looks, the more dangerous he becomes. If you've ever backed a driver under impossible pressure, smash that subscribe button, because this is the kind of psychological duel that decides legends. Here's the brutal truth. When it comes to fighting back, Red Bull are masters of survival. Jacques Villeneuve didn't hesitate to remind everyone, this team has built a culture around thriving in adversity. Whether it was Vettel in the early 2010s or Verstappen today, they never panic, they just attack. That's where McLaren look exposed. They're trying to play fair, to keep both their young stars happy. Red Bull, they don't care about happy, they care about winning. If Verstappen needs every strategy card, he gets them. No hesitation, no second guessing. This is exactly why Villeneuve insists McLaren must act now, because the longer they wait, the more Verstappen's momentum builds, and once he smells weakness, it's game over. Ask Mercedes, ask Ferrari. They both learned the hard way. Red Bull don't let opportunities slip. So the question isn't just whether McLaren can beat Verstappen on track, it's whether they can stomach making the ruthless calls off it. Comment below, do McLaren have the guts to be ruthless, or are they too worried about keeping the peace? So here we are. McLaren stand at a crossroads. On one side, fairness, equality, and the promise made to both drivers. On the other, cold-blooded strategy, backing Oscar Piastri as their spearhead to keep Max Verstappen at bay. But this is bigger than just one season. If they side with Piastri, they risk breaking the trust of Lando Norris, the fan favorite and long-term face of the team. If they let them fight freely, they risk giving Verstappen the very gap he needs to flip the championship upside down. It's a decision no team principal wants, but every great team eventually faces. Ferrari in the Schumacher era, Mercedes with Hamilton and Rosberg, now it's McLaren's turn. And that's where you come in. What should McLaren do? Back the Aussie Silent Assassin Piastri, or let McLando fight to the bitter end? Either way, history will remember 2025 as the season where McLaren chose its destiny. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video, because this debate is only just beginning and we want your voice in it.